For once, we can get excited about the Montreal Canadiens, ladies and gentlemen. 3 wins in a row. Last night, the epitome of it all. 5-2 against the Leafs. If you're a Leafs fan, I apologize. It's going to be biased as hell, but we're going to talk about this game, and we're also going to be doing something new. We're going to be visiting both of the Reddits of both Leafs and Habs, respectively, because it's just juicy. Join alongside me today, Justin and Alex. My name is Mackie. Together, we make the No Respect podcast. Folks, let's start with you, Alex. Yesterday.
Fantastic. I was not lucky enough to get to go to the Bell Center like you guys, but watching from home was still great. I got the pictures from you guys, Caulfield celebration. Wish I could have been there, but it was almost as good on TV. I want to give a shout out to Samuel Montembeault. Some big saves in the first period. When the Leafs were trying to get back into it there, he came up big. So it's nice to see him get a win. As a local guy, win against the Leafs, what more can you ask for, right? And just overall, our first line is clicking. Josh Anderson always comes up big against the Leafs. Leafs fans hate him, and he always shuts them up. So another big game from him. It's nice to still have him around. Hopefully he sticks around. And we finally have something to celebrate.
Yeah, it was great, and we know. Okay, if you're a Leafs fan, this is a small victory for us. Like, you gotta let us, enjoy this, because it's been a absolutely atrocious season. But it comes to your expense. It's beautiful in that sense. But on the Leafs side, I know that not everybody is happy with Mrazek's play last night. Maybe a couple of soft goals. The Mike Hoffman one comes to mind. But overall, I don't think that they were very happy with what went down. Justin, we went to the game together. How did you feel it? First time that it was 50% capacity at the Bell Center last night. It was electric. We had the Olays in the second period, I believe. It was pretty sick. What was your take on this game?
What a game. It was like the best game of the season, and I thank you so much, Mackie, for taking me. And yeah, what a game to go to. Cole Caulfield, Nick Suzuki, and Josh Anderson were dominant. The whole team was dominant. It seemed like the Leafs just couldn't get anything going. And it was great to see some sad Leaf fans in the stands there in the Bell Center. You always hear them when the Leafs score, but the Leafs didn't score much. So it was great.
No, but we had some laughs. There was a Leafs gentleman in front of us. We bumped fists, but we also
almost broke up a fight between Habs and Leafs fans. Yeah,
that was true. That was true. It got a little bit hectic, but that's what happens when you start getting back into capacity, I guess. And that being said, let's head into the Reddit. We know that it's a duality of emotions. So starting off with the Montreal Canadiens Reddit tonight, or from last night, let's take a look. Beating the Leafs is way greater than making the playoffs. You know what? Last year, it was the best of both worlds, because it was beating the Leafs in the playoffs, plus it was 3-1, right? So,
yep. You said it best yourself there.
Oh, man. All right, let's keep going here. Pitlick is a keeper, and the Suzuki Caulfield Anderson line is buzzing. Completely agree. Rem Pitlick, man, what a pickup for the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, it's still small sample size. He's not like a game breaker, but for a waiver wire pickup, I question why Minnesota dropped him.
Man, I said it a couple weeks ago. This kid, his name's going up in the rafters. He's been fantastic. I think if a guy like Lehkonen leaves, obviously he doesn't have that defensive prowess, but he's going to be a super solid middle six player that you can sign to a cheap deal. And he's still pretty young. He's actually considered a rookie this year. He's outscoring Caulfield in the rookie leaderboard for Montreal. He's only played 47 career games, so he's got room to grow. St. Louis seems to love him, and great acquisition so far.
He almost has the lead for goals on the Habs. He has 10 goals, I believe, now, and Anderson now has 12, I believe. So it's like he's almost top of the Habs. Should be on the first line soon.
Maybe. Let's. You guys want to head to the Leafs Reddit for a quick moment? See the duality of things. Little hop over here. Keith, my wish list is to play a really good, solid 60-minute hockey game here in Montreal. Leaf / Rick from Pawn Stars. course. Best we could do is a decent third and one highlight reel save by Mrazek.
It was a
That
sick
pretty
save,
much sums
though.
it up. Yeah, that was nasty.
That was
Save of the year
and
candidate, probably.
it stole the hat trick away from Anderson too. So
True.
It's got to be tough for the Leafs though, especially Keefe. Like I don't know if you guys watched that All or Nothing documentary, but how much I don't want to say struggled, but like it hit them hard obviously to lose to the Habs. And you're working again this year and they keep saying they want to build to be competitive in the playoffs. They've had regular season success. And now they had a rough loss to St. Louis the other night and now a big loss to the team in last place in the league. It's I don't know. As Sheldon Keefe, you got to be thinking like, are we going to lose in the first round again? Like there has to be some doubt creeping in there for a team that keeps steamrolling the regular season, but those big games they don't seem up to it.
Yeah, the one thing I would say is it is one game here that we're talking about, and the Montreal Canadiens do make it a point usually to I mean, not this year, they haven't really stood up to any team, but they usually show up to these Leafs games and they love it. I would say that, it might be interesting to get your takes, actually. If you're a Leafs fan, are you convinced that this team is going to turn the corner? I mean, obviously, after this game, you probably don't want to watch them at all. But in the long run, in seeing the team, they've been scoring different goals from what I gather in different ways this year, which is positive. But then when it comes to these types of performance, does it shake you? Let us know in the comments. But yeah, let's keep going down here. Let's see how bad. Spezza watch. This one's good. Literally only good part of tonight's game. 1 assist, 12 points away from 1,000. That's crazy. Spezza, the Habs killer. He had a pretty decent night. He was the only one that actually kind of stood out. I don't know if you think the same, Justin.
I mean, the only thing I really noticed was that he jumped Nick Suzuki after a totally clean hit on Justin Hull. But yeah, I mean, Spezza always shows up against the Habs. I wasn't surprised. He looked okay, but if you have a 39-year-old as your best looking player in a game, he's got a little problem there.
Well, Corey Perry was kind of that for us. So, I can't, we got to take it both ways, right? Just go ahead with the roast. Let's keep going down there because the Leafs Reddit is kind of interesting here. I watched a lot of other teams throughout the season. The Leafs are far and away the least reactive team when it comes to sticking up for one another. Very little pushback. Other teams play them physically. It's been the same for years now. 52 points, and that's Jim Bolahi?
420. Don't forget the 420. They're soft.
You went so close. Why'd you come so close to your microphone for that?
I wanted to say that they're soft.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's Jimbo Leahy. But yeah, we kind of saw it. A couple of comments earlier, someone was mentioning Mrazek getting hit earlier in the game. I think it was Pitlick on a breakaway who tried his sweet move again. He tried his backhand forehand and kind of crashed into Mrazek. And I'm not vouching for someone to come beat up Rem Pitlick after that, but I think someone does have to come kind of step up and let him know, like, hey, kind of like what the Leafs did in the playoffs last year. Again, I'm not vouching for that fight, but after the Tavares hit, Foligno told the guys, like, hey, someone's got to step up. And obviously this wasn't on the same level as that Tavares incident, but I do think a player has to come just talk to Pitlick and basically say, like, hey, watch out. Like, don't run into our goalie like that. And if Leafs fans are saying the same thing, it's a recurring issue that's got to be fixed at some point.
I mean,
two things I want to mention. Sorry, if you don't mind, because I was going to say Jeff. Or are you going to talk about Jeff Petrie?
I was going to say the same thing. Go ahead.
Okay, go. Please.
Jeff Petrie. Jeff Petrie basically had the same thing where Sam Montembeault got clocked and Jeff Petrie kind of just skated by. So I mean, it happens. It's kind of a player-to-player thing. Maybe it's a team mentality. They need a change, but it's something you got to do on a team to stay together, to really just be a team. You have to stand up for each other.
And I was going to say my second part to that because, yes, the Jeff Petrie incident with Zach Cassian on Sam Matambo was where like all of the media hate just exponentially grew, especially when the Habs were losing tremendously, and only now have they kind of picked up the pieces. But what I was going to say is if you're looking for a little spice on your D, we've got Ben Sherratt available for a first round pick and plus. So just phone Kent Hughes, Jeff Gordon. Take a look, Maple Leafs, because he was a tough customer for you guys in the playoffs. All right, let's move along. You see any other good ones, or do we come back to the Habs? What's this? Flating.
I'm looking.
Let us relive the utter disappointment of last year's playoff loss. Of course, that was great, 3-1. Today, actually, as we record, is the day that the Toronto Maple Leafs lost to a Zamboni driver. Did you guys remember that? This is the what is the
David
anniversary?
Ayers.
David Ayers, the legend himself. All right, Leafs fans, I know that you're getting annoyed here, but we know that this is a good team. Let's get back to the Montreal Canadiens, who are not a good team right now, and let us enjoy this victory. This is getting aggressive. Fuck the Leafs. Caulfield owns Matthews in my books of absolute facts. Caulfield,
True.
3 playoff series wins. I mean, Matthew, Nylander, Martin Riley combined. Look, the math adds up. I don't know. I can't say no to that, you know?
This is the book of absolute facts here. It's just the truth. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What do you guys
Okay,
think
tabarnak.
of... Sorry, I was
Okay,
just
hang
gonna...
on.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Go. No. Go.
No. You're speaking French. You have priority in Quebec. Go ahead.
That's a good one. Okay, mais tabarnak, c'était quoi le trouble du charme? If you guys are interested, we just did a video on that, so you can check that out. Marty St. Louis, the difference between what we've seen of this team ever since it's been a change. Basically, he's asking in French, what the hell was wrong with Ducharme? Yeah, what were you gonna say, Justin?
And I forget at this point.
Okay, all right.
It takes a lot out of me to read in French, so yeah.
Listen, it's one of those things. Yeah, I mean that's a long paragraph. It's a difference in emotions. Do you think this is the start of something bad for the Leafs, or are we just kind of riding on our high horses? Because this is a place of delusion, folks. This is the No Respect podcast. Alex, let's get back to reality here. Are you seriously in trouble for the Leafs after a game like this, or not really?
I don't want to say seriously in trouble, but I think there are some questions to be asked. Like you said, it is a one-off, one game. They are still doing well this season. But I think after years of not being successful, that doubt is always in the Toronto Maple Leafs players' minds if they're actually going to be able to pull through this year. And their window of opportunity is running out. These guys on big contracts, I think Matthews has 2 years left after this. Not that I'm guaranteeing he's going to leave, but you can't necessarily afford to keep paying all these guys as much as they are. And so they have to figure it out quick. I don't know what's going wrong for this team. Like it's strange to see. You'd think they'd win one playoff round. I don't know what the issue is. They've tried everything at this point, so something's got to give. I think this year is the year where something's going to change if they don't figure it out, and we may see a big name being moved.
Yeah, if I could ask you a question, Justin, is that because I know that the Leafs they kind of said like, all right, this happened, it was terrible in last year's playoffs, but it seemed like they re-upped the same solution. Like you swap in maybe Michael Bunting, you still have a very similar roster. You got Wayne Simmons there. They got the grit from them. They got Jason Spezza, who re-upped as well. It's not a very different team, and you lost Zach Hyman basically. So I don't know for you, Justin, if this year's the year. It's a similar question to Alex, but for the Leafs and Leafs fans, you let us know. You could be still excited for you, and if the worries of the playoff demons that you still have. But Justin, do you think that this looks like a team, not just solely of last night, but just overall as a team that can go far in the playoffs this year?
No, I just think, to be honest, they have all the pieces in terms of skill and like hockey players, great hockey players. They have a good goalie. They have good defensemen. They have pretty much everything. They have some decent enough depth for what they have on as star power. But it just seems like the team doesn't play with heart. They don't play with character, as Marc Bergevin would say. And I don't know, it seems like whenever something goes wrong, they just kind of like put their tails between their legs and can't seem to get out of it. Or they just seem like they don't have pushback, or they don't have like, they're not buying into being a team together. It seems like, I don't know, it's kind of like an overdone argument, but it seems like they're kind of a team of individuals, to me at least.
My big concern too is that if I were a Leafs fan, this year is going to be harder than any other year too. They're playing either Tampa or Florida in the first round, who are just rolling, especially Florida, and Tampa's won back-to-back. So these are two very, very difficult matchups. And add on the pressure of 3-4 years in a row of first round exits. You got to do it this year. And if you do, I think maybe that mental block is gone. But yeah, like Justin said, there's something missing. And it's easy for us to say as Habs fans that they're missing heart or whatever, because that seems to be what the Habs thrive on. That's how they win.
Yeah.
So it's easy to speak from our position. But I don't know. It's tough. It's got to be tough for Leafs fans, because on paper they're doing everything right. It's just not working.
Yeah, it's interesting. I agree. It's a weird thing, because the Toronto Maple Leafs talent up the wazoo on paper looks like you got Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, John Tavares, William Nylander, like all of these top four. That's incredible. Obviously, we know that there's a lot of money that's locked into that. But Dubas has seemed to kind of fix, at least in the regular season, seemed to find a recipe that works. So it's just, how does it translate to that? Because I agree with you, is that if the Toronto Maple Leafs do figure it out and somehow get out of the first round, I'd really be worried. I'd really be worried for the future of this team, in the sense that they're going to be, I think they're going to start rolling from there on out. If they bust that, I think it's going to be dangerous. So we'll see if it happens. Leafs fans, let us know what you think. We're the No Respect podcast. We're Habs fans too, so that's why there's a little bit of back and forth that we like to have here. But again, it's all in good fun. Justin, Alex, Jackie, if you like Habs content, if you like hockey content, make sure to subscribe and follow us for our content. And we shall see you guys again soon. The Habs are rolling, baby, and we shall see what goes on for the Leafs. Have a great week.